Welcome to Ghostly, the podcast that puts the paranormal on trial.
Every 2 weeks, I unearth a chilling ghost story, tracking down the legends, the eyewitness accounts, and the history behind a haunting.
And I, your friendly neighborhood skeptic, get to tag along to poke holes in her theories. My job is to find the logical explanation, the creaky floorboards behind the ghostly footsteps.
In the end, it's not up to us. It's up to you, our listener, to weigh the evidence.
Yeah, you get to decide, is it a genuine haunting?
Or is it all entirely senseless talk?
But before we summon the spirits today, make sure to hit the subscribe or follow button wherever you're listening. It's the best way to make sure that you never miss a new spooky tale.
As always, we are your hosts.
I'm Pat.
And I'm Rebecca. Now let's turn down the lights and see what's waiting for us in the shadows. Is the William Kehoe House in Savannah, Georgia haunted?
All right. Well, I'm going to say no to that right away.
And I'm going to say yes.
I know that this is supposedly one of the most active haunting inns, right?
Yes, it's one of the most haunted places in Savannah.
Yeah,
but certainly one of the most haunted inns.
Yeah,
it's
one of the most active haunted.
Yes,
because supposedly there's stuff that happens all the time in this place. Yeah,
yes.
I want to acknowledge something before we continue. This episode, we are experimenting with our format a little bit. All of your favorite parts are still going to be in here, just probably in different orders than what you're used to. So you might actually have to listen instead of skipping ahead. We do this because of feedback. So
just
continue to give us your feedback. Yeah,
absolutely.
All right. So in the heart of Savannah, Georgia, on a beautiful spot called Columbia Square, stands the magnificent William Kehoe House. Kehoe?
Yeah, that's where I'm going.
All right. It's more than just a beautiful building. It's a landmark with a fascinating story that begins with a classic American dream.
The house isn't just a beautiful historic inn, though. It's also one of the city's most haunted locations. Guests report ghostly children running through the halls, phantom hands brushing their cheeks as they sleep, and the lingering scent of old-fashioned perfumes. Some even claim to hear the echoes of the building's time as a funeral home. Wheels turning, doors opening on their own, and whispers in the dark.
Sounds like a lovely place to get away, maybe like a honeymoon, right?
Absolutely. It's an interesting place, and I'm excited to get into it.
It's beautiful inside. If you've looked at some of the pictures in there, it's beautiful.
If we make it to Savannah, that's definitely going to be a place we have to check out.
I've never been to Georgia at all in my life.
I've driven through it on my way to Florida, but I didn't stop.
Okay.
Not that I remember.
So maybe we should just go to the ghost story then, Rebecca. You do have a ghost story this episode.
I, of course, have a ghost story.
Okay.
It's time for a spooky tale from Rebecca.
I stayed at the Kehoe Inn on a whim. I had one night in Savannah and thought, why not treat myself to a historic bed and breakfast? The house was beautiful. Warm lights, creaking floors, old Southern charm. Room 201 was waiting for me at the top of the stairs, and the concierge smiled as she handed me the key. It's one of our most memorable rooms, she said with a knowing grin. I laughed it off. Ghost stories were fun, sure, but I didn't actually believe in them. That night, after a stroll through the square and a glass of wine on the balcony, I tucked myself into the massive antique bed, wrapped in layers of blankets. The house was quiet. No TV, no kids, just peaceful, historic silence. Sometime after midnight, I woke to a soft tug on my blankets. I was groggy, confused. I thought maybe I'd kicked them off. But as I turned over, I felt it. A small hand brushing my hair away from my face. Gentle. Curious. I froze. I opened my eyes and he was right there. A little boy, no older than 5. Pale, wide-eyed. His face hovered just inches from mine. And then, gone. He disappeared like smoke, fading into the darkness. I sat up, heart pounding, trying to convince myself I was dreaming. But the air in the room had gone ice cold, and I could still feel the faint pressure of fingers on my cheek. I didn't sleep after that. The next morning, as I checked out, the concierge asked how I slept. I hesitated. Strangely, I think I saw a child in my room. She didn't blink, just smiled. Sounds like one of the twins stopped by to say hello.
All right. So she actually saw somebody when she woke up.
Yeah, that, to be honest, I kind of added.
Okay, so she didn't see anybody. She just felt a presence?
That's
in the real story.
In the real story,
Okay.
It's more like hearing and then feeling, but not necessarily seeing like a apparition in this particular case.
Because if you were going to make a movie about your ghost story, you would have to see it, right? That's
exactly.
where you're going with that. Okay. Yeah. So usually we would take a break and then get to the Pat Facts, but I think we should just do it, right?
Pat's Facts. From a skeptic point of view. Pat's Facts. He presents it all to you. Pat's Facts.
Oh, yeah, let's dive in.
Let's get into the Pat Facts. You ready, Rebecca?
Pat Facts.
All right. So to understand the story of a Savannah house, you first have to understand the story of the city itself. Savannah, Georgia is not just any city. I think we could all agree on that,
Absolutely.
Right?
If you haven't read Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, you need to, because that tells you the story of the city.
All right, I got to add that one to my list. So it was born from bold ideas, a place designed with purpose and beauty from its very first day. Now, we share a lot of that in Chicago, around where we live. Chicago definitely had a idea.
Yes.
Before they recreated it. But this is a recreation. Savannah started from the beginning.
Okay, as an idea, planned thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
As most cities just evolved from like a couple of houses here, a couple of houses there, let's put them all together and do something with it. So it becomes kind of reckless in its pattern, right?
Yes.
It's like streets going this way, streets going that way.
Right.
All right, so our story begins in 1733, where you wouldn't believe that this story begins. But this is just the history of Savannah itself. Long before the United States was even a country, a British gentleman named General James Oglethorpe sailed up the Savannah River and landed on a high bluff. He wasn't just there to build a settlement, he had a vision. He wanted to create a new kind of colony, one that offered a fresh start for England's working poor and acted as a buffer protecting the wealthier colonies from Spanish Florida to the south. Oglethorpe's most brilliant idea was his city plan. Instead of a chaotic jumble of streets, he designed an orderly grid, very similar to Chicago.
Yeah.
I remember, writing this thinking, wow, this is like Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
The city was laid out in a series of repeating neighborhoods, and at the center of each one was a public square. These squares were meant to be the gathering places for markets. They also served for military drills and community life in general. People would meet up there.
Sure.
And, great ideas were shared amongst each other there. Today, 22 of these original squares survive, making Savannah one of the most beautiful and unique cities in the world. They are the city's green and living heart.
Wow. So it's interesting because I've heard, or I know I should say, in Europe, they'll have squares.
Yeah.
I mean, not necessarily like this, but just more public squares. So it's really interesting to know that Chicago doesn't have that. I mean, we have a grid system.
We have some squares, but not any orderly squares.
More like public parks too, something like that. But anyways, this sounds beautiful.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all these, like the houses and stuff like that border these squares. So it's easy to get to usually from any location.
Sure.
Nothing more than like a 15-minute walk to get to your square.
Sure.
And then you're right there surrounded by people.
Yeah, love
and
it.
This also served as a great way to defend the city too. You would go to your square then and leave your house,
smart.
there.
Okay.
So as Savannah grew, it became a major port. Its economy boomed. As a lot of these, bigger cities start off with being small little areas, and then because of the economy is where, it really grows.
Sure.
First, they boomed from exporting silk and indigo, and later from the immense wealth of the cotton trade. So I'm sure
There it
you know
is.
where that is.
Sure.
This prosperity built the stunning mansions and grand churches that still line the city square. However, the city also has a complex and difficult past. It played a role in both the American Revolution and the Civil War.
Oh, yeah, right. It would have been around for both.
So it's seen a lot of stuff. Its importance as a port made it a key target. In 1864, so we are talking about the Civil War, General William Tecumseh Sherman completed his famous March to the Sea by capturing Savannah. But instead of burning it down as he had with Atlanta, Sherman was so struck by its beauty that he offered it as a Christmas present to President Lincoln.
Oh, wow. Yeah, okay. Which makes sense. That's why it kind of has been able to stay so historic that because when you think about it, obviously it was a main part of a war. So, yeah.
I wonder if he wrapped a big bow around the city and said, Merry Christmas, Abe. I always hate when they do that with cars on commercials. Like, who buys a car for their spouse and doesn't tell them ahead of time?
Yeah,
That
PSA, don't do that.
Yeah, to me, I'm sure there's some listeners that have done that and it's been great.
If you're so rich that you can afford to buy
Savannah,
a car. Yeah.
Yeah. So the 20th century brought new challenges, including economic decline and the neglect of historic buildings. But a group of determined citizens, often led by strong local women, started the historic preservation movement in the 1950s. That is true for most of the United States. Most of the United States was saved because of strong local women.
There you go. I want a T-shirt.
Yeah. I don't know how you'd write that one. It seems like a lot of words.
Strong local women. I think you could do
local women? Okay.
Yeah.
They saved countless historic buildings from the wrecking ball, preserving the city's unique character for generations to come. It is thanks to their efforts that we can enjoy Savannah's history today.
All right. And we're going to come back to Savannah.
Yeah.
I don't know when for sure, but in doing our research for this episode, I definitely saw a lot of haunted places in Savannah.
Well, now we're going to move on to William Kehoe. It was into this historic and ambitious city that a young boy from County Wexford, Ireland, named William Kehoe arrived. His story is a perfect example of Savannah's promise and the promise of the United States in those days. He came with little, but through hard work and determination, he became a master of his trade, which was ironworking. Kehoe started his own iron foundry, which grew to the incredible success that it is. His company created the beautiful, intricate iron fences, gates, and balconies that are such a famous part of Savannah's architect.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's super interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
And by the 1890s, Kehoe was a prosperous community leader. There was good money in this. He and his wife, Anne, had a large family of 10 children. Could you imagine 10 children? Jeez.
That's a lot.
They needed a home that was both big enough for their family and grand enough to reflect their success.
You can't you got to show the people about how wealthy you are.
One day we're going to talk about somebody that lived around the area that me and Rebecca currently live in. It's Geneva, Illinois. We're going to talk about somebody that was like what was considered a billionaire in those days, but he wasn't millionaire. That lived in a very simple home. And
he's got a very interesting story.
I can't wait to get to that. But we have plans for this.
We do.
In 1892, William Kehoe built his dream home right on Columbia Square. The mansion was designed in the stunning Queen Anne Revival style, with grand porches and a tall castle-like turret and rich decorative details. Naturally, Kehoe used the house to showcase his own company's artistry.
So, that makes sense.
Iron railings all over the place and gates all over. And you see this on a house today. They're still there. They were all crafted in his foundry.
It'd be really funny if some of them weren't.
Yeah, weren't his. But that's like, like someone that owns a roofing company is going to have the nicest roof, because if they didn't,
right? I mean, you got to advertise, right?
The Kehoe family lived in the home for decades. It was built like the city itself. The house evolved over time. After the family moved on, they passed away.
Mm-hmm.
It became a boarding house, and later the Kehoe Funeral Home, a fact that adds to its spooky local legend that Rebecca kind of mentioned.
We'll get to it.
Yeah, it was even briefly owned by a football star named Joe Namath.
Oh.
You ever heard of him?
I have. San Francisco? No. Wait, who did he play for?
You gotta look it up, Rebecca. I'm not telling you this time.
All right. One thing I can tell you, though, about when he bought it, I read this and I thought this was interesting. He wanted to make it into a nightclub.
What?
Obviously, that did not.
And today it's
happen.
a TGI Friday. No, I'm just kidding. Finally, in 1992, exactly 100 years after it was built, the home was lovingly restored and began its new life as a historic inn, as it is today. You can stay there if you like. You can book it. I saw it on booking.com, which is like the new site people go to.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, looking at some of the pictures, it is so beautiful. A lot of like stained glass and stuff like that. A lot of light coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very pleasant looking house, I gotta say. For its haunted history, it looks lovely.
Yeah. What's really interesting is that it is not a kid-friendly place. They actually
don't allow kids.
One place I saw don't allow kids. The other was discourage kids. So I don't know. Maybe they can't like say definitely no, but they discourage it, which I think is kind of weird.
Yeah.
But fine. Okay, so Joe Namath, because I know listeners are going to be like, oh my God, played most of his career for the New York Jets.
Yes, he did.
But then late, he did also play for the LA Rams.
Yeah.
Which maybe that's why I was thinking San Francisco. And didn't he do like a weird commercial with like legs or something?
Oh, Joe Namath did a lot of things. So to narrow him down to one particular thing, he was very famous in his day.
Yeah.
One of the most famous football players of all time.
Yeah. Yeah. So. I'm probably thinking of somebody else. So sorry for sports ball listeners in the
Do you have anything to add to this history, Rebecca? Because it is kind of short, unfortunately.
Oh, I mean, I think it's pretty good. I mean, I think especially when you add it to the
Savannah.
To the Savannah history. I mean, I'm going to talk about a few specific things maybe as we get to some of the debate.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's just obviously the funeral home thing is a big one for the ghosty stuff,
Absolutely.
but also the family as well.
Yeah.
So I think that all of that comes into play.
All right. Well, we're going to take a short break. Our first one now, finally.
Yes.
It feels weird. And when we return, we're going to get to the debate. All right, Rebecca. So I hear that there might be like a presence of a ghost or something here or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, wait, I just want to preface this with I have no idea. I never do. I mean, I have the ability to be able to see into our script thing and see what Rebecca has put in there if she goes before me, which she usually goes after me, but I never do because I like to go into this a little cold. That's how I like to operate. So I have no idea what you're going to talk about. I have seen mentioned that this is particularly haunted.
Yes.
but I have no idea what you're going to say in advance.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So when it comes to this house,
Yes.
it really does feel haunted.
Okay.
That's, there's not really too much of a doubt in my mind. And not just by one spirit,
Yeah.
but by many.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of history, as you talked about. And it's got the house, the family that lived there and had a lot of things happen. And then, the funeral home piece, as I mentioned. So let's go through some of these ghostly stories.
Okay.
Ding, ding, ding. All right. So let's.
I don't think it counts if we say it during it. I think it counts if like a story says
I
it.
got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's start with the story that a lot of people talk about, which is the tragic tale of the Kehoe twins.
Okay.
So rumor has it.
Kehoe's a very unique name.
It is.
Say.
I'm pretty sure that's how it's pronounced. So I've heard it. I don't know.
That's
so
what it
if
looks
it's not,
looks like to me.
I'm trying to think of it in an Irish accent, but I can't do an Irish accent. So sorry.
My Irish accent would not work on the word Kehoe. I don't know.
Anyways, if anyone knows, info at ghostlypodcast.com. Okay. Okay. So supposedly, they were, the story is that the mom came home and was calling for her children and couldn't find them.
Okay.
And this is so bad, but in the realm of the movie Gremlins, that supposedly there was a smell and basically they found the children in the chimney.
In the chimney?
Yes.
Okay.
Not alive anymore. So onto the actual hauntings.
Okay.
Many guests report hearing children laughing and running in the halls. And as we said, there's no children that are allowed to stay there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I pulled one TripAdvisor comment. Her name is Donna, and she said the following in her 2011 review. Quote, 2 people in our group could hear sounds of children laughing and calling for mommy. One at 12:30 on the 3rd floor and another at 3:30 a.m. on the ground level.
So 12:30 p.m. though, so around lunchtime.
Yes.
Okay.
But then,
then at 3:30 a.m.
Okay. Right. But there were, I don't know, I took the quote directly.
Yeah.
But there were no kids staying at the inn. Management said only moms can hear the children. Dads never hear the voices.
Well, I mean, come on.
And then she says, no joke. This place is haunted.
Dads have selective hearing. So.
Well, and it's interesting. I didn't include the whole quote. I'm not going to get into it, but I will say I found a quote from someone who says that she works there. This is from 2021. And she claims there's 7 spirits there. But that again, just like again,
Wait,
the work,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay.
Oh, I can't. Oh, that's like shaving a haircut. Okay. 2 bits. Sorry. Okay. Then, but anyways, but she, like this, it was a worker there who's like, yep, there's this many spirits and people report it all the time. And I love being able to talk to them about it. So, this is then an example of someone who reported it. And again, the workers were able to say, that's common.
All right. So my first thing I'm going to say about this is when writing the history, I tried to go over the Kehoe family and find out why they passed on. And I saw nothing to indicate any kind of weird deaths in the particular house. So I've never heard that they were in a chimney. So I don't know about that part.
And I will say I also could not necessarily find any backup evidence for this story, but it is a commonly told story.
Okay.
And I don't know that there's any evidence necessarily against it. It's just not anything for it. But the evidence is that there is children. So I don't know. Maybe those children are from the funeral home. I suppose that's possible. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know where the story would come from if there wasn't some reason for it. So I don't know.
But I mean, I just want to say that like when speculating where these things are from, we oftentimes will relate it to anything that we know, right? Know that was in the house, and there was 2 children in the house, so we assume, okay, that was them. So that's just our logical mind working, right? But then, okay, so the 2 particular times that she heard this thing, so I'm going by the review only because I don't know how many times this seems to happen. There's no, like, I don't think people are keeping track of that particular information where we can figure it out.
A lot of these places will have like a book where they have people write them down. I didn't hear anything about that this time.
But also too, even if so, you don't know about any that are not reported or misreported, you know, like, so I don't believe the book particular, like, I don't think that stands as like, that we can say, you know, out of 200 people, 5 people, you know, I don't think we could use it for odds, you know, as far as that goes. So this one, so 12:30 p.m., they are right across the street from the Columbia Square, like right there.
Yeah, I do wonder if this was meant to say AM, but I obviously all we can do is go by what she said. So
and the 3:30 a.m., I'm assuming that she was sleeping at this point and woke up and heard this. This could be something from a dream that she woke up from or something. You know, I had a dream about snowmobiles the other day, and I felt like I was riding them. And it's 90 degrees outside. So, I mean, I'm not riding no snowmobile.
Right, but you didn't wake up and then, like, see a snowmobile.
No, but I woke up cold, which was really odd because it was super hot. Well, so, which might be that I'm dying or something. I don't know. But anyways, that the cold sweats, I guess, are probably not a good indicator of anything here. I'm just going to say, you know, it's like, if I go by this exact thing, and I understand that there might be more reports of this, but you are giving me a specific report. So I'm going over the specific report. 12:30 p.m. seems like a logical time for there to be kids running by. And she hears it, and who knows where she hears it from. Echoes are weird that way, you know? And the 3:30 a.m., I would have to say she was sleeping and have to say it was in the middle of the night, and nobody else can say that, I heard that noise too at this particular time. So,
well, it says 2 people in our group heard sounds of children. So I don't know if that was one person at one time. And, I guess it does say. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Okay. Anyways, whatever. Yeah. What's your rating? Let's go with that.
You know, I'm going to have to go 0 because, I mean, I think that we can rule things out through logic here. But I mean, I'm just using, like, what is it? Occam's razor?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just using that. Like, simplest solution probably is the most correct. So
right. I'm going to give this one an 8.
Okay.
Now, I'm not necessarily giving an 8 to the chimney story.
Chimney?
I think it's that one I give more of like a 4 or something like that. But the hearing children running and playing and laughing, that one, I gave a specific example, but I don't discount the fact that I also saw, read many places that is a common thing. And the fact, and even just going with the review that the management was like, oh yeah, we hear that a lot because only moms and dads and whatever. So like it has, that says to me that this was not the first time this was reported. So that's also why I give it a high score. Also,
just because it's in a review, just because it's on the internet doesn't mean that this actually happened and that this is truth. So I'm just going to say, don't always believe everything you see on the internet.
Well, I say that too, but
that's something I learned last week.
This case.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Let's go with the next one here.
All right.
One of the most beloved spirits in the house is Anne Kehoe herself.
Okay.
She's often seen in rooms 201 and 203, sometimes sitting at the desk writing, other times sitting on the bed next to guests.
Okay.
Many have reported the scent of roses, her signature perfume, lingering in the rooms. And then a specific story, one former owner said he felt a kiss on his cheek while lying in bed, only to realize he was completely alone. Anne was known as a warm and devoted mother and life, and it seems her love continued even in the afterlife.
Sure. Okay. So this one has no like hard evidence. The other one didn't either. So just to be fair, there's no like.
Just to be fair, there is no evidence that I can show.
I mean, there is ultimately, right? You could show me a video that I can't deny, or you can show me, like, you can be like, here, I found this ghost. He comes out every day at 1 p.m. If you go to this location, and I happen to go there and see it. Yes, that would be enough evidence to.
Okay.
And here's the thing too. Once I am 100% proven wrong, I will totally turn around and I will admit it.
Okay.
So this has got nothing concrete that I can go on, just, word of mouth. I am assuming that when you say that that this woman is sitting next to guest, that it's in like a picture or something like that, because like, did they just like look over and go, oh my God, there's a woman right next to me?
No, what they feel like that depression in the bed.
Okay.
No, well, they'll see, and I kind of I put that like as part of another one, but they'll like, and we've had this reported before where they see like an indentation in the bed. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. This just seems like there's nothing really hard and concrete. This seems like if you believe in ghosts, you're probably going to believe that this would happen. But if you're a skeptic, you're going to just be like, okay, well, it's just people talking. That's all. So like, who am I to say what's right and what's wrong? I just know logically that, for there to be ghosts there, I would believe there would be a lot of scientists there and stuff like that, checking it out, making sure that it was real. Notice like scientists don't run out when these stories are reported.
Yeah, they don't. They want to spend their time on other things. I get it.
Like cancer and stuff.
Yeah, that's all right. They can do that.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably better suited, I would say. But I'm just going to say, that's just something to note. And I am going to probably give this one a 0 again.
All right. Well, for me, I think scent is a very common ghost report that we get. And so I think that is a strong indication that there's a spirit there. And then, the seeing her at the writing desk and on the bed like that, I'm not as sure if they've, I don't know. That one's always hard for me, especially if there isn't any photographic evidence of a spirit, though it's hard to get. But the fact that, people do report the bed, feeling somebody on the bed, and then feeling a kiss on the cheek or a hand on the cheek, these are things that have been reported. So anyways, I'm going to give this one a 7. Okay. I think, there's some valid reports.
Yeah, and I will say scent is a major thing that will like trigger memories too, right? Mm-hmm. So like I remember going into this one restaurant in the morning, and the smell of the syrup from the pancakes instantly took me back. Like this was a syrup that I had only smelled as a kid or something. And it instantly took me back to my childhood where, I was like, oh my God, that smell, it's like that's a really triggering emotional thing too. So sure. But again, I'm still giving this a 0 because I don't think that means that there's a ghost. So.
I'm also going to put a shout out here then for our Bluff City Cemetery episode from a few years ago.
Where I smell flowers.
Yes. Yeah. So, okay.
It was like winter time too. There was frost on the ground.
Exactly. So that's, if you're interested in that, if you haven't listened to that or haven't listened to it for a while, go check that one out.
Yeah.
Okay. So next one is William Kehoe himself.
Yes.
Is a little bit quieter than Anne, but he's still around. His favorite retreat was the cupola at the top of the house. And to this day...
I think it's the Coppola Cabana.
Yeah. Or the director.
The Coppola Cabana. Sorry.
Unexplained lights are seen glowing from that room late at night. Some guests and staff have even reported the front door unlocking and opening on its own after the doorbell rang when no one was there. And it wasn't just the front door. All the exterior doors in the house opened at once. That's not a draft. That's someone with keys from the other side.
All right. So who's reporting these doors all opening? Is it staff?
The staff and the guests.
And the guest. Okay. But the guests are all up in bed sleeping though. And the staff... I would say is probably one person at that time, right?
That could
Or-
be.
I don't imagine that this has like 100 rooms or anything like that.
No, it's like
so-
13 rooms.
Okay,
or something.
okay. So like when we said 201 or something like that, I'm like 200 and something rooms in this little house. What the heck?
Yeah.
So first of all, I don't know the details of how this place was built. I don't know the door situation. I don't know if there is any issues with the doors. I don't know if these are the original doors that were put in. I can tell you they're beautiful. I saw a picture of one of the front door. They're nice, nice wooden doors with windows at the top. They're very, very nice.
Yeah.
That's all I know about the doors, though. So I can't really tell you too much about that. Yeah, that would definitely be weird. But also, too, this is just a staff person or maybe two staff people reporting this. This is not like there's no evidence supporting this. So I don't see pictures. I don't like hear audio. I don't see videos of this. And if this happens every night, you think that they would set up some cameras or something like that.
I
to
don't know if it
capture
happens
this.
every night.
Well,
Just-
even if it happens once a month, you think they would have like some kind of camera system. Like if
Yeah.
I knew that this is something that could happen, I would just throw a security camera up just to be sure and capture that. Because also too, you don't know, maybe this is someone messing with them and it's going to steal something or something.
Well, there's also like the ding dong
ditch,
thing.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
which is only called that in the Midwest. I think.
and I feel like there might be a bad story
Ding dong ditch is
associated with that. I
is
don't
when
remember,
you
but
run up to the doorbell, you ring it, and then you take off.
I'm sure
before
there's
anyone
other
can see you.
names. Yeah. Well, I also the light glowing from the room upstairs.
Yeah.
So I know there's a few things in here, but I don't know.
But I don't know if that room is occupied. I don't know the situation with that room. So maybe it is a room that's open to guests that, they can go to. And that could be somebody maybe lighting up a stogie or something. I have no idea what that is.
I think the thing with the doors is just that they're all opening at once.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be pretty difficult to coordinate and especially to like not see anybody.
Yeah.
So
I think they're having a little bit too much peach schnapps too. So
because it's Georgia.
yeah.
Okay. So what's your rating?
I'm going to have to go 0. There's no show me something. Give me something. Give me like a name. Give me something.
Well, William Kehoe, supposedly.
Well, I can't talk to him, can I? And be like, hey, William, what happened? And why don't you go by Bill nowadays? I mean, come on.
There you go.
Are you that formal?
All right. I'm going to give this one a 6.
Okay.
All right. We got 2 more.
Okay.
There's a lot with this one, right?
Okay.
So, okay, let's get to that next step in the house, which was the GOT or GOTE, whatever it is, funeral home.
Yeah.
Guests have heard, I love this one. I think it's interesting.
Okay.
Guests have heard the squeaking wheels of gurneys echo in the halls,
Mhm.
right? As if bodies were still coming in and out. And then some have seen a tall, legless man, just a torso and head floating down the hallway.
Wait, then how tall can he be then? So can we really judge his height, right?
Well, obviously he's up high. They're just not
Okay,
seeing his
all right.
legs. I don't know, but I suppose that's a question.
Okay.
He's not threatening, but he's definitely there. It's like echoes of the building's funeral past refuse to fade.
All right. So there's 2 pieces here. First of all, hearing the squeaky wheels, and now we're assuming that this is bodies being wheeled in and out on a gurney.
Yes.
They hear a squeaking noise. That could be a lot of different things, right? I mean, squeaking, like maybe it is a window that's open that keeps, opening and closing then because of a breeze or something. Squeaking could be a lot of different things. And for them to go all the way to a squeaking gurney with bodies on it, being wheeled in and out. So they really created this scenario. They really mapped that thing out, huh?
Yeah.
So I don't know. As I said, it could be a window open. It could be a lot of different things. I don't know the situation with the floorboards in the house. Maybe someone stepping in an area that causes a squeak. And then the tall, legless man, just a torso, head floating down the hallways. Oftentimes our minds play tricks on us. You know, I always refer to that the one time I saw E.T. with no head, which ended up being blankets, and it was a shadow. So it wasn't E.T., and I was really upset.
But you found a reason for what it was that you thought you saw.
Because I looked.
Well,
These
I'm
people
thinking,
have already decided that they have a reason. I did not.
I'm sure that there are some people that investigate. I'm sure most people do because they're freaked out.
No, I think they just leave.
They run out screaming.
No. I don't think so. I think they're just like, oh my God, look at that. And then it like turns the corner and they're just like, wow, did you see that? Did you see that? Oh my God. Oh my God. All right, let's go get some more peach schnapps. And...
All right. So what would you
Well,
rate?
the peaches are free. Millions of peaches. Peaches for free.
Just so you know, Pat cannot hear the word peaches without singing that song.
I can't.
I need Gen X to remember that.
I can't.
song.
Yeah. 0 on this one.
Okay. I'm going to give this one
A 28.
No, I'm going to give it a 6. I think, you know.
A 6?
a
You have
I
to
wanted
enunciate
to
that
go
S sound,
7,
which is the worst sound for audio,
but
by the way.
sorry. Sorry, everybody. Just because the gurney squeaking, I think, yeah, like there could be some things, but you know, seeing a torso, that would freak me out. You know, and you know what? I'm actually going to call it here for evidence. I was just looking at evidence number 5, and actually, those are all things that we've talked about already.
Yeah.
So yeah, so let's leave it
Okay.
with these 4.
All right. Well, so then, what would be your overall rating then?
So I'm gonna give it a 7.
Okay.
I had an 8 in there. I had some 6s. I had a 7. So I'm gonna go in the middle there and say 7. And it's pretty haunted.
All right. So I've been thinking about something, and I want to make things even more fair for Rebecca.
Oh.
Rebecca always goes first in the closing arguments, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we are going to take a break.
Oh, okay.
So Rebecca can gather her thoughts for a minute, and then she can give her closing arguments then.
Okay, but before we do that,
Yes.
you got to give us your overall rating.
Oh, I didn't want to do that.
Oh, you're gonna wait?
No, but it's 0.
Oh. Oh, okay. If you don't
I'm
want
just going to average it out. Well, I mean, it will probably always be a 0.
Sometimes you surprise us and you give us like a 1 or a 2 or something, and I'm always like, wow.
Well, I do that if there is something that is like a hard piece of evidence that I have not seen or something like that I cannot counter. But
I see.
There's no hard evidence in this one.
Okay.
So, okay. So we're going to take a short break while Rebecca composes herself.
Oh, okay.
And then when we return, we'll do the closing arguments and get to some other stuff, some fun stuff.
Some fun stuff. All right.
Okay. All right, so that brings us to the closing arguments. This is our last chance to convince you to vote our way. We are each given 1 minute of uninterrupted time, Rebecca.
Mm-hmm.
We will time each other on the ghostly studio timer to keep everybody honest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Rebecca, I have 1 minute on the clock.
I see it.
Are you ready to go?
I am.
All right.
All right. So the William Kehoe House in Savannah, Georgia is haunted. Now, number 1, Savannah itself, very haunted place. And part of that is because it's been around such a long time. It has such a long history. But this house specifically, it's interesting. The workers that I read, they all kind of say too, none of the hauntings are necessarily like threatening, right? You know, they're certainly spooky, but not necessarily threatening. And I think that goes with the house. You know, there was a loving family that lived there, maybe had some tragedy, maybe didn't. And then, of course, a funeral home is a lot of tragedy, but, you know, not necessarily in a scary way. But I think all of that together, just that history combined with Savannah itself, you know, it doesn't surprise me at all that you hear children, squeaky wheels, you know, see torsos and feel your bed shift down. It's haunted.
All right. Well, you pretty much took that up to like 1 second.
That's,
you must
what
have
I
planned
do.
that out in the time that we took a break.
There you go.
By the way, that break was like 4 days. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. It's the same day. All right. I am ready. I'm going to go ahead and hit the timer.
Let's do it.
All right. So, unfortunately, there is no physical evidence of this particular haunting. There is no video. There's no audio. There's no pictures that I can find. I know that they do haunted tours here a lot, and I appreciate that, and I would love to go to one of those and be a part of that kind of feeling. I love going to those kind of things, but when I walk away, I usually don't put my skeptic brain on it. But if I did, I can usually figure out what most of the stuff is if I'm at that particular area. But I'm going to go ahead and just say that I don't believe that there's any proof that this is haunted. So I'm going to end at that.
Okay. You had
All right.
13 seconds left there.
Yeah, I did. And if anybody wants to use them, they can.
Okay. There
Talk
you
amongst
go.
yourselves. All right. So now we're going to do some of the things that we would typically do at the beginning of the episode. We're doing it at the end so we could jump right into the episode and give you the haunted stuff. And then, you can stick around and listen to more stuff.
Yeah. But if you are leaving us, don't forget, go right now to ghostlypodcast.com/polls and vote on this episode.
Yeah.
Right? Where
Tell
do
us
you
what
land?
you think.
Yeah.
Tell us what you think. Also, too, I want you to stick around for the shout outs real quick before you do that, because there is a new way to get a shout out on Ghostly. So typically we had our 2 ways, which is that if you give us a review on Apple Podcasts, we would give you a shout out. The second way is to become a member on Patreon. The new third way is if you comment about one of our episodes by emailing us. And this one would have to be an email or a DM. Because like in the Facebook group, it's hard to keep track of stuff.
Sure.
So if you've been to a particular area that we have covered, we would love to hear your story about that, and we would love to feature it in Ghostly. And now that we've moved this area to the bottom, I feel comfortable with, telling your story then.
Adding a little bit more here.
Yeah. And, so I would love any comments. And in fact, if you vote, that's the reason why I wanted people to stick around. If you vote in this episode and you say, I have been there, we might read that comment here.
Absolutely.
All right. So now you people can say goodbye.
No,
then,
don't say goodbye. We got fun stuff left.
We do because we have listener mail.
We do.
Up.
We've got listener mail. All right. So we're almost there, but we're still on Abigail's letter, and we're really deep into the ghost story part now.
And I love that she is very skeptically minded.
Yes.
Yeah.
So last time there was something that happened with her aunt and a curling iron.
Yeah.
Getting out of the house. Okay. The next story, she says, is a story of Bigfoot.
Bigfoot.
Told to me by my uncle.
Okay.
So one night, he and his friends were going through Sardine Canyon. Yes, that's the actual name. And when they came out at the end, they saw something in the rear view mirror.
As one would.
A big fuzzy creature.
A big, just giant foot. That's all that it was just
No.
a foot.
No. A big fuzzy creature. The guy in the car behind them had a look on his face you might be able to imagine and didn't move even when he could.
Yes, I've seen Howard and the Hendersons, and I know that face, yes.
That is why they think they saw Bigfoot.
Okay.
Another story. My mother has claimed that the old rocking chair that my grandmother owns is haunted because she has seen it rock back and forth on its own. And then in parentheses, she says she has at times been half asleep and fully awake.
Okay.
But I have never seen this.
At times she's been half asleep and fully awake, so she's never been fully asleep.
Right. So sometimes she's half asleep, sometimes she's fully awake when she sees this.
Okay. Oh, okay. When she sees this. Okay.
Right. But I have never seen this myself, though me and her refuse to be alone in the room with that thing. Okay. Understandable, good choice.
I mean, even though I'm a skeptic, I would say if you're, if these ghost stories trigger something in you, maybe that's not a bad idea. If you don't want to encounter it, now I would stay because I want to encounter it. I just haven't.
So you sound like her sister, because the next thing she says is, my sister, on the other hand, has literally stared at that thing trying to see it move. I did that once, she said. I couldn't sleep for the whole time I was at that house.
Okay.
So-
Abigail, was that the sister that rode in first before you?
Oh, maybe.
I would be interested to know that.
And she does want us to know it's not the same one that they've talked about before.
Oh, okay.
And then my grandmother's current house was built in the 50s, and it is creepy sometimes.
Okay.
All right. So we're almost done. I think maybe one or two more stories that she's got for us. Thank you so much for the rich letter and all the stories. And, I do have a few others that are on deck. So if you haven't heard yours yet, don't worry, it's coming. But as Pat said, send us more, give us comments. Tell if you've been to Savannah, if you've been to this house.
Or any of our former episodes.
Yeah, let us know. We want to share those.
Yeah. So you can email us at info@ghostlypodcast.com or use the contact us form from ghostlypodcast.com. Another way, which is our favorite way, you can always send it via the actual post office mail, you know, like that guy that wears shorts that carries around the mail. That would be P.O. Box number 264, Geneva, Illinois, 60134. You can get that at the footer of ghostlypodcast.com.
Absolutely. And again, you can also find us on social media at Ghostly Podcast.
Yes.
All right. We have not, we got to circle back.
Okay.
Because we haven't talked yet about the poll results from our
I don't think that's circling back.
previous episode. Well, we're going back to our previous episode. We're going to close the loop.
Okay.
Right on that previous episode, which was when we talked about Marshall Field's mansion.
Yes.
So if you haven't listened to that one, definitely go take a listen.
Which those that have listened to it heard that I have not actually been to Prairie Street, and Mondo texted me to offer me a tour of Prairie Street.
Yeah, we wanted to get him on that episode, and we just couldn't work out the schedule.
It was our fault. We dropped the ball.
Yeah. But and so therefore we missed a song.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
Would have been nice, but still very good episode. Lots of fun information. And so our results were 65% and no 35%. I am gonna be honest, I'm a little surprised.
I am not. I expected this.
Okay.
Because you say a big name like Marshall Fields, at least that is to Chicagoans, right?
That's true. And we also were talking in the end too about Marshall Field and his son, who was definitely doing some shadiness.
Yeah. I could agree with that. By the way, the overall rating is 4.78. I will say that there is one influence that occurred with this particular one.
Oh.
And that is that we don't have enough votes. So every single vote can change things completely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So this was seriously just a couple of votes away. So get your vote in, go there. It takes you not even a minute to do it.
Super, super quick.
We ask for an email address, but we don't email though, unless we have questions or something like that. We will, we just ask for that to have a unique identifying thing. So we know that this is a different person. Let's say 2 Christies write in. I want to know that these are 2 different Christies.
Well, we don't want double votes.
Yeah, exactly. We try our best not to.
Try our best anyways, yeah.
So don't let your friends miss out on the chills. Share Ghostly with them and help us grow this community of paranormal enthusiasts. Your support means the world to us. We're building empire. You know, we want the Ghostly empire to expand, and we might be doing that in January.
We've got some thoughts.
We've been in talks. So there is some debates about doing some other stuff that I cannot release right now.
No, maybe we'll put some chat out on Discord or on Patreon or something, get some thoughts. But yeah.
Because I don't want to break any laws or anything.
No,
like that,
definitely not. Right. I mean, if you want to join Patreon, that's a great way to get episodes early, episodes ad-free, and sometimes get a little preview of things that are going on.
Yeah. We might disclose that on Patreon in the months to come.
Yes.
So is it real? You be the judge. Share your verdict at ghostlypodcast.com poll section and let the debate continue. I want to give a shout out to our VIP producers who really make this all possible. Because we try to consult them as much as we possibly can. We're on Patreon together. We also have a Discord channel open for these VIP Patreons.
Yes.
That, as you heard in a couple episodes ago, One of them suggested an episode. We dropped everything and did that episode. For them.
Absolutely.
That's what we would do for you as well. So I would like to thank Andrew,
Alicia,
Becky,
Cindy,
Kevin,
Jessica,
Alice,
Aaron,
and Hope. So subscribe to Ghostly now and get ready for the spine-tingling encounters to come. On the next episode of Ghostly, well, Rebecca, you've been planning the episodes lately, so why don't you tell us the next episode?
We're going to be talking about Fort Warren in Boston.
I'm not going to talk about it.
Boston?
You're just going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about something completely different in that. No, I'm just kidding. Wouldn't that be weird? We're
That
both
would
talking
be
about something
really weird. Yeah.
completely different. I'm giving a history of like the Empire State's Building. You know?
Yeah, no, we're not doing that.
That would be fun, though. Maybe that should be a Skeptics Day episode. So I just want to let everyone know that we appreciate you listening, and we appreciate you sticking around to this point. All three of you at this point. I'm sure.
No, I'm sure. Hopefully, it's more. By the way, that episode comes out on August 13th.
Yeah. And just for future reference, if you want to support Ghostly and you don't have any money or anything like that, let the podcast play all the way through to the end.
Yes, please.
So
listen to the ads. Let it play all the way through.
More credit then. So
absolutely.
Until next time, stay ghostly.
Bye.